time out of the last 16 chances that you've won a closeout game in your career. I just wonder if there's any kind of a different or advanced approach to those type of games, knowing what you know about the game and where things can go.
For me, mentally, I come in with the same desperation as the opponent. I understand that, in a closeout game, the team that's down is going to play very desperate, and they're going to play to their best ability. And if you allow that to happen throughout the course of a 48-minute game, they will extend the series. Not saying I'm always successful on closing out the series, but that's my mindset. My mindset is to be just as desperate as my opponent when I approach the game, when I'm out there on the floor, and then live with the results.
Frank Vogel just told us that he's thrilled with how the defense has been playing. Just wondered if you could trace us through the season as you guys have evolved, the different looks that you've had, and the level that you're at right now as a team.
Well, from day one, Coach Vogel and the coaching staff said that we need to be the best defensive team in the league, and we took that to heart. And we had some good months. We had some great months. We had a couple weeks where we were not that good defensively, but we're hitting our stride at the right time, and that's in the postseason. I think for us, we continue to get better and better throughout this postseason run so far, and we want to continue that going into the next round.
Hey, LeBron, it's Dave. You guys have had several guys on the team as the year has gone on go through their doldrums, but a lot of them, not even having to name names, came up big in this series. What have you guys done as a culture, as teammates, as a coaching staff to keep guys on the course so that they can perform at the biggest stage?
Just keeping the main thing, and for us, it's the opportunity to play for a championship. That's what we're all signed up for, and everyone has to make sacrifices in order to do that. And that's what's best about our ball club. There's games, there's rounds, there's minutes, there's quarters where your number is called. There's sometimes where your number is not called, but you always have to have your mind into it and keeping the main thing. And we have guys step up at times, and we all feed off one another. So it's very important and very key for our ball club.
Hey, LeBron, it's Tanya. You've talked a lot about understanding the importance of this franchise getting back to winning, getting back to competing for championships. You talked a little bit with Cassidy on the walk-off about how this is why you came here, and it's been 10 years since the Lakers have been in the Western Conference Finals. Is it personally valuable for you to think about that aspect of it and the pressure that comes with being the guy expected to lead the team lead the organization back there? Yeah,
I know what it comes with. I know what my name and my stature and what I've done in this league comes with whenever I decide to join a franchise. Either if it's starting up my first 7 years with Cleveland, my 4 years in Miami, going back to Cleveland 4 more years, and then coming into this franchise. I know what my name comes with, and it comes with winning. And I take that responsibility to the utmost than anything, because I am a winner, and I've always been a winner from the first time I ever played organized basketball. I was taught the game the right way from my little league coaches. They taught me how to play the game, play for my teammates. It's never about you. And the true definition of there's no I in team. And I was able to win doing that and just learning the game from 9 years old all the way until I became a professional at 18. So, and I've won at every level. So it's always kind of worked for me. And so I understand what comes with that. I understand, the Laker faithful and what they felt, or maybe we're going through over the, I will say the last decade of not being in the postseason, not competing for championships, and whatever the case may be. And I took that responsibility as well. So I'm happy I'm able to do, a little bit of part of it, and the rest of my ball club and the coaching staff and everybody that's put the sacrifice in trying to get us back, getting this franchise back to compete for a championship, which we've done all year.
Hey, LeBron, it's Bill. You guys were, right before the shutdown, probably playing your best basketball of the regular season, and then obviously 4 months off. And there was a lot of talk about what it would take for you guys to get back to that level you were at on March 8th. Do you feel like you have surpassed where you guys were kind of at that peak in the regular season? And what has been the key to, in this totally unique environment, getting there?
I don't know if we surpassed it. But I just believe right now we're playing good ball. I mean, it's so hard to think back to where we were. There's been so many seasons wrapped in one. This has been obviously the longest season of my career, and probably the longest season for you guys as well. Obviously, with the shutdown, the pandemic, and everything that's been going on, it's been a long year. So we're just playing good ball at the right time, and we want to continue that. And being in the bubble, all we have is each other. Obviously, our families got here within the last week or so, but we've been together for almost we were together for 2 straight months, and just having that bunker mentality, seeing each other, practices and meetings and buses to practice and games. It's just been us, So that's given us an opportunity to even grow even closer than we already were.
Kyle Goon?
Brian, sort of taking back to after game 1, you were preparing for game 2. You guys came out defensively, looked so different and so crisp. What, in your opinion, in that day in between was the turning point that allowed you guys to put out that effort?
Well, we learned from our mistakes in game 1. Game 1 is a fill-out game, and we learned from our mistakes in that film session that we had that following day after that loss. And then we had another film session on game day in that morning and had a walkthrough and was able to clean up some things. And we were better to go throughout our series. Put yourself in winning positions as much as you can throughout 48 minutes, and that was the byproduct of it.
And just as a follow-up, is that, in your experience, a characteristic of a championship team?
There's a lot that goes to being a championship caliber team, but I think the sacrifice that guys have to make throughout a playoff run, the commitment that you have to make, and this is both on and off the floor, and it's just have to be locked in, being locked in on the job and the task at hand, and going out and just playing. And we've been doing that so far in this postseason.
Anybody else on the side? Jeff, did you have one?
LeBron, a little bit of follow-up on Bill's question. You said you were peaking defensively at the right time. It's one thing to peak when you're playing late March, April, May, and having the full season. With that layoff, defense is so much harder. What's allowed you guys to do that? How difficult has it been to catch up defensively?
I think the best thing about our ball club is that we're able to take film sessions and visualize us being on the floor. With the every other day schedule here, before you're able to close out a series, you don't have much time to actually be on the floor and actually be, on your feet and things of that nature, because coach want to keep us off our legs as much as possible. So we do a great job of able to breaking down the film with our minds and being able to visualize of what can happen when the game starts. And I think that's just great growth mindset for such a young group that's been together. I don't mean in age, but this is on our 10th game in the postseason as a group. That's definitely been a big part.
Okay, and then last 2 questions with Tanisha.
Hi, LeBron. Second quarter, the Rockets cut the lead to 7 points. You guys went into that timeout. You come out, hit that corner 3. Third quarter also, they cut it to 7, and you hit that long 3, which kind of got you guys on that run there. And I'm just kind of wondering if those kind of potentially momentum-shifting moments, what's kind of your mindset, I guess, in terms of just kind of wanting the ball, and also in terms of just getting yourself in the right frame of mind to be able to kind of execute a play at that moment?
Well, obviously you can tell throughout the course of a game, throughout the course of a quarter, if momentum is being shifted. And we've seen that from the first quarter to the second quarter. Houston came out, hit a barrage of threes, was able to get into the lane, cut the lead. And if I'm on the floor, I have to try to, seize the opportunity to kind of stop the run, either get into the free throw line, get a layup or a dunk, or get a good look. And that particular 3 in the second quarter, I was actually off the ball, and was able to, get a pass from a teammate, and I was able to hit a live dribble 3. In the third quarter, I actually had the ball and was able to knock one down to kind of stop their run, and we had kind of gathered after that. Smooth hit a couple threes, and then we just kept it going from there. So, when a team is in a good rhythm and a team is making a run, you want to try to make a shot, more importantly, you hope to get to the free throw line and kind of stop the run, slow everybody down. But getting one to go through helps a lot.
Last question, Anthony Slater.
Yeah, I know a lot of tests are ahead, but is this among the top defensive teams you've been on in your years?
I've been a part of a lot of great defensive teams. Mike Brown was a defensive coach, and we played some exceptional, basketball, on the defensive end. And some of my early days in Cleveland. In Miami, we flew around. We weren't the biggest team. We didn't have great size, but we had great length and great speed. And Spo challenged us to use our speed, covering the interior and then getting out to the exterior as well and keeping guys off the three-point line. So we flew around. So we were really good defensively as well. This is a really good defensive team too. I mean, we have multiple first-team all defensive players. We have defensive player of the years and AD and Dwight. Before the shutdown, obviously Avery, who's been a part of so many first-team, second-team defensive teams. Danny was on a team last year as well. I'm not quite sure if I've been on any, but I know what I can do on the defensive end as well. So, it just helps our ball club, and it just trickles down to everybody else. So we fly around, we protect each other, and that's the most important. You're going to have breakdowns because we all are NBA players, and there's just great guys on the opposing end. So when you break down, you have to have guys flying around, rotating, and you can trust your guys behind you. And when you have that, it helps you be a pretty good defensive team.